FEMA and NOAA are issuing warnings that winter 2025 could be the most disruptive season in decades. We're not just talking about snowstorms or icy roads. We're talking about extended power outages, food shortages, and supply chain breakdowns that could leave millions of Americans stranded and vulnerable. If you've ever thought emergency preparedness was something for other people, this winter might be the wake-up call you can't afford to ignore. In this video, you're getting FEMA's official list of the 10 essential items every household needs to survive winter emergencies. These aren't expensive bunker supplies or survivalist gear. These are practical, affordable items you can pick up at your local grocery store or hardware shop. And I'm going to reveal 3 items on this list that most people completely overlook until it's too late. But here's the critical part. You need to act now, before the first snowflake falls and panic buying empties the shelves. Welcome to Crisis Horizon, where we help you stay prepared and protected when it matters most. If you find this information valuable, hit that like button to help others discover these potentially life-saving tips. And subscribe to our channel so you never miss critical preparedness content that could make all the difference for you and your family. Let's dive into FEMA's Essential 10 and make sure you're ready for whatever winter 2025 throws your way. Water is the absolute foundation of any emergency plan, and FEMA doesn't sugarcoat it. You need at least 1 gallon of water per person per day for a minimum of 3 days. That means 3 gallons per person at the bare minimum, and honestly, you want more if you have the space. Why so much water? Because winter emergencies are brutal on water infrastructure. When temperatures plummet, pipes freeze and burst. Water mains crack under the pressure. Treatment plants lose power, and suddenly your tap water turns brown, starts smelling like chemicals, or stops flowing entirely. And it's not just about having something to drink. You need water for cooking, cleaning wounds, basic hygiene, and sanitation. Here's how to store it properly. Use food-grade water containers, not old milk jugs. Milk jugs break down over time and breed bacteria, which is the last thing you need in an emergency. Clean 2-liter soda bottles work great if you rinse them thoroughly first. Store your water in a cool, dark place, away from direct sunlight and any chemicals like gasoline or cleaning supplies. Bottled water is convenient, but storing your own is cheaper and more eco-friendly in the long run. And here's a critical warning. Don't rely on filtered water pitchers or your fancy fridge filter. Those are completely useless if your tap runs dry. Water isn't a luxury in an emergency, it's your lifeline. Now let's talk about food. FEMA's recommendation is clear. You need at least 3 days' worth of non-perishable food. This isn't about surviving on stale crackers and hope. You need real food that won't spoil when the power goes out and your refrigerator becomes nothing more than an expensive cold box. The best emergency foods are canned proteins like tuna, chicken, and salmon. Stock up on canned beans, chili, stews, and ravioli. Peanut butter is a calorie-dense powerhouse. Grab granola bars, dried fruit, nuts, and trail mix. Shelf-stable milk, applesauce cups, and instant mashed potatoes are all solid choices. Here's a budget hack. Dollar stores are absolute gold mines for emergency food supplies. You can stock up without breaking the bank. But here's what most people get wrong. They buy all this food and forget about it. Set a reminder to rotate your stock every 6 months. Use a Sharpie to mark expiration dates on everything and keep a simple notepad to track what you have. Avoid foods that require refrigeration after opening or complex cooking methods. You want meals that are ready to eat or can be heated with minimal effort. And don't forget the morale boosters, hot cocoa packets, hard candy, instant coffee, tea bags. When you're stuck inside during a blizzard with no power, a warm drink or a familiar comfort food can make a psychological difference. Food is fuel, but it's also comfort and hope. Now here's the item that everyone forgets, and FEMA lists it separately for a very specific reason. A manual can opener. I know what you're thinking. It seems obvious, right? But imagine this scenario. You've stocked your pantry with dozens of canned goods, the power's been out for 2 days, you're cold, you're hungry, and your electric can opener is completely useless. All that food might as well be locked in a vault. A simple hand crank can opener costs less than $5 and works every single time. No batteries required, no electricity needed, just pure mechanical reliability. And here's the thing. During supply shortages, those easy pull-tab cans disappear fast. You'll end up with regular sealed cans that need an opener. Buy a sturdy manual can opener and test it right now on a can of tomatoes or beans. Make sure it actually works and that you know how to use it.
Then keep it with your canned goods where you can find it in the dark. In a crisis, that $5 tool is the difference between a warm meal and going to bed hungry. When the power goes out, your stove stops working. Your microwave becomes a paperweight. Your air fryer, Instant Pot, and every other electric cooking gadget you own becomes completely useless. FEMA emphasizes the absolute necessity of having a backup way to heat food and boil water. Your safest options are single-burner butane or propane camping stoves. Sterno gel fuel cans work great for heating soup or boiling water. You can even find portable chafing fuel at dollar stores that'll do the job. But here's the critical safety warning that saves lives every winter. Never, and I mean never, use outdoor grills, camp stoves, or generators indoors.
Carbon monoxide is an invisible, odorless killer. It'll put you to sleep permanently before you even realize there's a problem. Use your alternative cooking sources in well-ventilated outdoor areas only. If you have a covered porch or patio, that's ideal. A hot meal in a freezing house isn't just about comfort. It's about maintaining your energy, keeping your morale up, and giving yourself the mental strength to handle whatever comes next. Extended power outages mean no heat, and FEMA's warnings are stark. You cannot just turn up the thermostat and hope for the best. When the grid goes down, your furnace stops working. The key strategy is layering up before you get cold, not waiting until you're already shivering. Stock up on thermal blankets, also called space blankets. Get wool socks, knit hats, insulated gloves, and thermal underwear. Flannel blankets, quilts, heavy sweaters, and fleece pants all become essential survival gear. Disposable hand warmers are cheap and effective. If you still have power early in an outage, heat up some microwavable heat packs and wrap them in towels. Here's a budget hack that actually works. Thrift stores are gold mines for cheap wool blankets, heavy coats, and warm clothing. You can gear up your entire family for $20 or $30. And don't forget the old school survival tricks. Stuff newspapers into your jacket or shoes for emergency insulation. Close off unused rooms and hang blankets over doorways to contain heat. Block drafts with rolled towels at the base of doors and windows. Warmth isn't just about comfort. It's about survival. Hypothermia can set in faster than you think, especially for children and elderly family members. The good news is most of these supplies are already somewhere in your house, probably stuffed in a closet or attic. Dig them out and make them accessible. When your phone dies and cell towers go down or get overwhelmed, how will you know what's happening? How will you get emergency alerts, weather updates, or evacuation orders? A battery-powered or hand-crank emergency radio becomes your lifeline to the outside world. Look for radios with NOAA weather radio channels built in. The best models have a built-in flashlight, a USB port for charging your devices, and even a solar panel for extended off-grid use. Get something with a rechargeable battery and multiple power options: batteries, hand crank, solar, and USB charging. Here's why this matters so much. During major disasters, cell phone networks get overloaded instantly. Everyone's trying to call loved ones at the same time, towers lose power or get damaged, your smartphone becomes an expensive brick. But radios use minimal power and work even in remote or heavily damaged areas. They keep broadcasting when everything else goes silent. Keep your emergency radio in your kit where everyone in the household knows exactly where to find it. Test it once a month to make sure it's working. A dedicated emergency radio keeps you informed, connected, and aware when the entire digital world goes dark. Candles might seem cozy, but FEMA is crystal clear. Flashlights and extra batteries are non-negotiable. House fires spike during power outages because people get careless with candles. They tip over, get left unattended, or set nearby curtains on fire. You need at least 2 reliable LED flashlights, plus backup lighting for kids' rooms and hallways. Store your batteries in their original packaging and check expiration dates every 6 months. Invest in rechargeable batteries and a solar or hand crank charger. It'll save you money in the long run and ensure you always have power. Headlamps are incredibly useful because they free up both hands for cooking, repairs, or taking care of kids. For children who might be scared of the dark during long outages, glow sticks can ease their anxiety and make the experience less frightening. Darkness is dangerous. You can trip over furniture, step on broken glass, or miss critical hazards. Flashlights keep you safe
functional, and in control of your environment. When roads are buried under ice and snow, you can't just run to the pharmacy or urgent care. FEMA insists on having a basic first aid kit and at least a 7-day supply of all prescription medications. Your first aid kit should include gauze, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers, and allergy medications. If anyone in your family needs an EpiPen, inhaler, or glucose tablets, those are absolute priorities. Include tweezers, scissors, a digital thermometer, electrolyte packets, antacids, and hydrocortisone cream. For prescription medications, talk to your doctor about getting an emergency buffer supply. Explain that you're preparing for potential winter emergencies and need an extra week or two of critical medications. Most doctors are understanding and supportive. Store medications in a cool, dry place. And that's not your bathroom. Humidity from showers degrades medications faster. Keep a printed list of all medications, dosages, and your doctor's contact information in your emergency kit. During a winter emergency, your medicine cabinet might be the only clinic you have access to. Don't wait until you're in crisis mode to realize you don't have what you need. When the power goes out, your credit cards and debit cards become useless. Card readers don't work, ATMs go dark, the entire electronic payment system grinds to a halt. FEMA recommends keeping $100 to $200 in small bills, 1s, 5s, and 10s. Store it in a waterproof or fireproof container in your emergency kit. Why small bills? Because during a crisis, nobody wants to make change for a $50 or $100 bill. Small bills move faster and solve problems quicker. You can buy bottled water, fuel, food, or services without complicated transactions. Spread your cash strategically. Keep some in your emergency kit at home, some in your car's glove box, and maybe a 20 in your coat pocket.
Cash is instant, anonymous, and universally accepted. It's your backup currency when the digital world fails, and it works when nothing else does. This last essential isn't a physical item you can buy, but FEMA says it's the single most critical element of emergency preparedness: your family communication plan. When storms hit and cell service fails, you need a crystal clear plan to reconnect with your loved ones. Here's how to create an effective plan. Choose one out-of-state contact to serve as your family's information hub. During regional disasters, long-distance phone lines often stay operational longer than local ones. Everyone in your family should know this person's phone number by heart. Decide on 2 meeting places, one near your home for minor emergencies, and another outside your neighborhood in case you can't get home. Write all of this information down on paper. Tape copies to your refrigerator, keep one in your wallet, and save the information in your phone. Practice this plan with your kids. Make it a game so they remember what to do. Include elderly relatives, roommates, and even close neighbors in your planning. A written communication plan is the glue that holds your entire emergency preparation together. It's what turns chaos into coordinated action. None of us want to imagine extended power outages, frozen pipes, or being trapped at home for days. But FEMA's warnings aren't designed to scare you. They're designed to give you the absolute best chance to handle whatever winter throws your way. Preparedness is freedom. It's the freedom to stay calm, take care of your family, and ride out the storm without panic. And here's something people don't talk about enough. Being prepared isn't selfish. It's actually community-minded. When you have extra batteries, a working can opener, clean water, or a thermos of hot soup, you're in a position to help neighbors and friends who might not have prepared. In times of crisis, sharing resources and information becomes just as important as having supplies in the first place. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start small. Pick up a manual can opener this week. Grab a few extra cans of beans and tuna. Buy fresh batteries for your flashlight. Every single step forward makes you safer, smarter, and more in control. Watch for shortages and price hikes as we get closer to winter. If you notice empty shelves or rising prices on basics like canned goods, batteries, or propane in your area, share that information with friends and family. Real-time community updates can help everyone stay ahead of supply problems. Winter 2025 might be unpredictable, intense, and disruptive, but with these 10 essential items and a solid family communication plan, you'll be ready to face whatever comes. You don't need fancy gear or months of training, you just need practical steps, a calm mindset, and the willingness to prepare. When the wind howls and the lights flicker,
You'll be sipping hot cocoa from your shelf-stable stash, warming your hands with a disposable hand warmer, and checking the weather forecast on a radio that doesn't need Wi-Fi. You'll know your family has a clear plan, your medications are covered, and you can open that can of soup without any drama. Preparedness is peace of mind. It's the quiet insurance policy that keeps you safe, fed, warm, and calm, no matter what winter throws your way. If you found this video valuable, hit that like button to help other people find this critical information. Subscribe to Crisis Horizon so you never miss life-saving preparedness content. And drop a comment. Which of these 10 items are you getting first? Let's build a prepared community together. Stay warm, stay ready, and remember, being prepared isn't about expecting the worst. It's about giving yourself the best chance to handle whatever comes next.